Welcome back to another episode of Rags to Riches. Everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. I have a special guest. Her name is Kiki. She is a radio host slash talk show host,
Almost
podcaster.
everything, right?
Right. So
Doing way
she
too
she
much.
that no, that's all right. She's did dabble it a little bit here and there, and that's fine. We like all of it. So
Yep.
ain't nothing wrong with that. So uh what is your hosting style for like your radio?
My hosting style,
Mm-hmm.
um, just real talk. I've been doing radio for since I was 19. I'm 50 now.
Honey, you look
So
good.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Black don't crack.
Is that right? That's what I heard. So I better not start cracking now. But I've been
Right.
doing radio since I was 19 in promotions and also programming. And so, just learning from people who have done it before me, including my dad. My dad was on the radio here in Pittsburgh at Whammo. Whammo is a legendary radio station here in Pittsburgh. It's urban format. And just learning to just be myself, be funny, and be my authentic self because your audience won't trust you any other way.
Yep.
They'll see right through you if you're being fake, if you're trying to be bougie and you're not bougie, you broke, but not, you know what I mean, trying to be bougie
Right.
but you broke. Yeah, and they were like, girl, please, let me see right through that. And so I mean, my style is just honesty, funny. I just, I keep it real and I make myself relatable to my
Absolutely.
listeners, and that's
Absolutely.
what I stick to. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. There's no
Yeah.
other way but to be real about it.
You have to be. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So do you avoid replaying like music if you own it? Do you do the music part or is just like talk show?
Yeah. Well, no, it is music format. And I'm also the assistant program director. So I schedule the music on Whammo. So, I talk to the record reps and, when they go for ads and stuff like that. And I mean, some of them I'm pretty honest with, like, that's trash. No, I don't like that. And they're like, "Key," I'm like, no.
Right.
But then I have to remember that I'm not the only person listening. So, but the majority of our listening audience is people over the age of 25, so 25 to 55. And so I have to think, do they want to get ratchet early in the morning before they go to work? Do they want to listen to Glorilla while they're at work in the cubicle? Or do they want to listen to her when they're driving home? And so I can't pick. I mean, I pick the music, but I don't
Right.
pick the music for myself. I
Right.
have to consider our listening audience, men, women, kids that are in the car. And
True.
there's some music out there. You be like, oh,
Yes.
I have to
I
apologize.
won't
I'm sorry, mom.
look, I won't even name. I'm not gonna name a few of them, but yes. And I love me. I love my oldie goldies. I love my hip hop. I like
Yeah,
the new.
music,
I like
music.
yes. I like them all now, but some
Yeah,
of them I'm like you. Like,
yeah,
did they really
yeah,
just say that?
yeah.
So what type of music do you typically play?
Oh, hip hop and R&B. Hip hop and R&B from I don't want to say some mid 90s, late 90s, all of 2000s, hip hop and R&B. And
Yes.
being that hip hop has turned 50 years old, we're actually going back and digging in the crates and, back to the music that was hip hop, the
Right.
Biggies, the Jay-Z's, the
Tupac.
Locks, the Tupac, the DMX, the Jadakiss, the Diddy, and Junior Mafia, and I mean,
Yes. We can't forget about Young
Blackstreet.
Jeezy now because I love some Young Jeezy.
Yes. And so I mean, just giving it that platform, and that's what people want. When you hear people talk about radio, it's like, I miss my old school radio. I miss the way it used to sound. And so just taking that into consideration and giving them what they want. However, you also have to give those who
The younger generation.
very seldom check into terrestrial radio and they want to tune in. You only listen when you're in the car. You know what I mean? You don't listen when you're at home. You don't listen when you're at work, unless you're
True.
maybe at work, maybe when you're working out. But you have to consider that too. So you kind of sprinkle it in there. So
True.
yeah, hip hop and R&B. But I will tell you this: there was a time that I briefly retired from radio in 2020, right after the pandemic hit. The station that I was working for, they got rid of the format, which was urban adult contemporary. So I mean, like old school music, like real good music, right?
Right.
And so they sold it, and I did not want to do the hip hop. I just didn't want to do it, and so I retired, and I started to concentrate on my business. But I also, in 2017, I started my own online radio station, and I was like, I'm gonna focus on this thing, this urban media. It's Urban Media Today Radio, and I wanted to start an online station that people wanted from terrestrial radio, from their regular radio stations, but their voices weren't loud enough where it can happen, because they had an urban AC station, but then it went away. And it's like, now what do we have? If I don't want to listen to this hip hop, what do we have? What music do we have? And so I started Urban Media Today with my fiance, and we've had it since 2017, and it's online. It's 24/7. We have gospel, we got jazz, we got hip hop, we got R&B. We have podcasts. On Saturdays, we run commercials, we do promos. So just how it's run on a terrestrial radio station, it's the same way. The thing for me, though, is I can't really promote it because I work, in radio. Right. So he does all the programming and the promoting. I went in until I went back to work. But yeah, so, I guess I brought that up to say you don't have to settle for the status quo. You can create your own lane, and if you're not invited to the table, create your damn table. Make your own table. And that's what I did with Urban Media Today Radio. So I was able to get the best of both worlds.
That's awesome. And that's something that I was looking into as well, like seeing how I can go about and putting my podcast on like the radio, and because I seen somebody, they was saying something about Tubi and Hulu, like different little platforms that I can actually. I know I got to do my research, because when I say I have no clue, I really have no clue. But I'm gonna start doing my research, because that's something that I wouldn't mind doing. That sounds real.
Just make sure you have whatever you do. Just make sure you have creative control. Right. And because if you have it on their platform, they're definitely going to sell it. They're going to sell sponsorship. They're going to sell commercials. And, make sure you get some of them coins,
Absolutely.
And because that's a lot of work putting a podcast together. And I know this, but putting a podcast together, that's a lot of work. Editing and, man, shoot. That's a lot of work. So make sure you get tell them to cut the check.
Hello, they gonna have to. Because when I say I love what I do, and I just started. So I really was supposed to start about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I had like everything, and then I just was like, no, I ain't ready. And then I was like, what if they don't like me, or what if this, or what if, and I was like, who cares? If one person watching, I'm fine with it. My audience will grow. It takes time to.
Yes, it does.
And God was telling me,
like it. You gotta like it.
I do.
If you're the only person listening, then you know what? That's fine with me. Right. They'll catch on, but maybe it's. With everything that I'm doing, I do so much, but that podcast is that time where I could be myself. I curse if I want to, I don't, but I curse if I want to.
I do. Sorry.
I mean, sometimes I do, but because my fiance be like, "Babe, come on." So, but I enjoy. I love talking about, because on terrestrial radio you only have but so much time to talk per break. You can't really talk about the things you want to talk about on a TV show. You're conformed on those platforms. And so with the podcast, you have the freedom to do whatever. And I just love it. I love the podcast.
I do. And so have you ever met any of the celebrities or any of the musicians that you've played on the radio?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't mean to say it like that. But yeah, I mean, early in my career, we met a lot, like celebrities. Early '90s, the celebrities came around a lot. Now they don't come around so
True.
much because there's so many platforms that they really don't need radio. They do, but in a way they don't because they're streaming, and you have IG Live, and you have TikTok, and you have Facebook, and so
YouTube.
they have SoundCloud and YouTube, and they don't need radio.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say I've met a great number of celebrities, some on the phone, some Zoom, some in person. My favorite, I would say, he was Senator then, Barack Obama.
Really?
Yeah, that was super dope. Did I talk to him twice? I don't remember. No, that was Hillary Clinton, I think. But let me see who else. Met Biggie. I met Biggie when he came to Pittsburgh. Faith Evans.
Oh, I love her. Really? So you met Beyonce and all?
I did. But they were just coming out.
Oh, yeah.
And we were doing our Juneteenth celebration. This was back in the my son was born in 98. So yeah, little 98, 99. And my son was in a stroller. And they were headed towards the stage. And Vaughn, my son, was sitting in a stroller and he was eating like a corn dog or something. And Beyonce and Kelly, they were like, "Oh my God, he's so cute." He was like, "Rah!"
Sound like something
what is wrong with you? You know that is.
Did you tell him the story about what he did?
I did, and he was like, "Oh God." He was like, "Well, I was having my lunch. They should have been interrupting my lunch." You even know her now, like, God. But yeah, so many. And the thing about being in radio is, you get those artists. You get the artists when they're not on.
Right.
If that makes any sense. Like when you turn that mic on, then one person I would say that keeps it consistent, Deon Cole. Deon Cole is the most consistent, honest, funny,
yes,
comedian I've ever. Like he just looked like he don't want to be there. He's just like, but he's fine. Like he's cool with it. He just like, "Yeah, I'm here." Like he just walks in by himself. Like, "Hey," he be like, "You ain't got no security, you right?"
But that's awesome. That, and that's just showing how human he is. Like, I don't need a bodyguard here, a bodyguard there. But that is so awesome. But I was on a guy's podcast. They had like about 4 or 5 of us on there, and it was just like an open topic. And they said something about Beyonce, and I was like, I'm not. I said, Lord, I hope they don't get me for it, but I'm not a Beyonce fan. Like I love them as Destiny's Child, but I'm just, I'm just not like a huge fan of hers.
You know what? She reels you in though, because you could be like, "Oh my
she's
God,
a sweet
I'm
person,
so over her," but then she do something like Diva, you be like, "You better,
right? Right.
Now she you don't want to like her. You don't want to like her, but she'll do something like, "Girl, like."
Like the Who Run the World?
Oh,
yes. Oh yes. I love her.
I love her.
I'm not gonna lie,
get it. I'd be like, "Oh my God, I'm so over her."
For real,
I hate following her on Instagram because I'm like, sick of your little pictures.
Guess what? I don't even follow her.
Rich. Who cares? You're rich, whatever. But then she'll do something. You be like, "You know what?
I don't even follow her." Let me tell you who I do follow. Cardi B. I think that's the only celebrity that I follow. The only one I feel. But I love Cardi. I'm not gonna lie, I love her.
I will say I like Cardi because she's so honest.
See, that's what I love about her. She's like, she real.
Honest.
Yes. But I love her but she's real. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's gonna give it to you blood raw. No other way. So she real cool. But I've tried to reach out to so many celebrities. Oh my God. I believe if I show you my email where I'm reaching out, like a couple
Oh,
of
I
them
get it.
reached out, but a lot of them don't. I tried to do like the Instagram, I try to do like the email,
Yeah.
and then a couple of them, they don't understand, like podcasters don't, well, we, right now, I ain't claiming that, Jesus, because I am gonna start making big bucks. But you know one of them wanted to charge me like
Yeah. Yeah.
$37,500, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what
Yeah.
the,
They get
lady,
paid for
I
their
don't make that
time.
type of money.
And they look at your followers, and see that just explains the disconnect. And I get it, it's a
Right,
business,
and
but at
it's
the same time, everybody don't have, they
no.
don't have it. But it's like that. Well, they don't charge us for interviews, but it's hard to get them to. You just have to imagine how many requests they get from people who want to be a part of their
Eh,
life, just to invite. It's just it's crazy, but yeah. And then don't forget, you get people who are managing their social media. You're not getting them.
right. Oh yeah, because a lot of them, when they do respond back, they'll say this is their manager, such and such, such and
Mm-hmm.
such, and but, and I understand celebrities, you're paying for them, you're paying for their time, but it's
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong with just doing something just because, sometimes, because I
Yeah.
always put, like, it's just 30 minutes, no travel, you'll be in the comfort of your own home or your
Yeah.
office. I always try to put that in so they know they're not traveling or anything, and it wouldn't take up much of their time. But I did get one that was,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you ever heard of him, The Uncut. He's
Mm-mm.
a celebrity blogger, and
Okay.
like a lot of celebrities follow him, and he, but he was really, really awesome. But I'm not gonna give up, because one of
Get the
these
artists that are just coming out.
sessions.
Get the artists that are just coming out and find out their label, and then reach out to their label and say, hey, don't reach out to them directly because they have somebody checking their. If you don't mind me suggesting this,
Oh no,
um,
honey, I'm all ears.
reach out to their label and get connected to like a DTLR in your area because they have artists that come through, and just kind of be present in a lot of different events, networking events, related events, circles, like be on other people's podcasts, just kind of get your name out there because
Right,
they get, like I said, they get these requests all the time, and so they may not trust everybody, not know
right,
who you are, and they may figure out the legitimacy is behind what you won't pay for them to give you so
right.
much. You know what I mean? But get in touch with the Arista, RCA, Atlantic, not Arista, Atlantic, Columbia. Try to reach out to their record labels, and then try some of the new artists, the newly signed artists. They're trying to get out there, and so
Right.
they're trying to get out as much as they can. Like Tyler is a great new artist.
Let me say,
Um,
I need for you to just send all this to me
okay,
on Messenger, so I can
okay,
remember. Because I'm telling you,
got you.
all this
Yeah,
is some very good
yeah.
information. Because
Mm-hmm,
and I love interviewing anybody, from celebrities to
mm-hmm,
regular people as ourselves and stuff. Like, I don't
mm-hmm,
have a limit to it, but you know
mm-hmm.
I love it. But I know,
Yeah.
like I said, like a couple of them, they've reached back out. Some of them wasn't too bad with the prices. Some of them was ridiculous, but
Mm-hmm,
and I can understand it, because I know one of them actually told me, well, not them, their manager was like,
mm-hmm.
it depends on my followers. Like, if I have a lot
Yeah.
of followers, they wouldn't charge me at all. I'm like,
Right.
well, I'm new. I
Right.
don't even I don't even think I got 200 followers. I might. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I'm fairly new. I try to explain it to them, but
Mm-hmm.
some of them, they don't want to hear it. But
But it's the
so
truth,
what
and
was,
that's what they do. They do that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and it's fine. I get it. Even if I ain't gonna say if, but when I make it big in this, anybody that wants to interview me and stuff, I just can't see myself like turning them down, because the first thing I'm gonna say is, okay, you've been there yourself. You've been there, you've done that. This has happened to you. So, everybody deserved that chance, especially if
Mm-hmm.
somebody trying to get their feet wet and get out
Mm-hmm.
there and make it. Ooh, it's coming. It's
I
coming.
mean, if it's something that, if this is what you want and this is what you want to do, nothing else there's nothing else that should distract you. If this is your tunnel vision, keep it straight on that and just hustle. You're going to have to really, really hustle hard.
I don't mind it.
Take this and put it on, create an RSS feed if you don't have one and
I
start putting
don't.
these on, you do?
Well,
Okay.
I have 3 different platforms that I put it on, but I don't have. Um, I'm still learning basically, so
Okay.
it's like a
Okay.
lot of stuff. I really don't even know too much
I'll
about it
inbox
yet.
you. Don't
But
worry about it. We
yes,
all started where
thank you,
you are.
honey.
Trust and believe. You'll be
Thank
fine.
you. I appreciate you, honey.
Of course.
Appreciate you.
That's what we're here for. Yep. Yep.
So, what was one of your scariest moments on radio? If you
Oh my
have it.
gosh. Well, yeah, I do, but so the first thing that comes to mind is when I, 9/11, in the studio, and the planes hit New York and the Pentagon, and we heard there was one approaching Pennsylvania. And you know how rumors go,
Right.
they're coming towards Pittsburgh, and I was so scared because I wanted to get my son from daycare. He was like 15 miles away from me, and I was just freaking out, just not being in a position and not knowing what to do, not having
Right.
the answer. Um, you know, and everybody's in a panic, and you still have a job to do. In radio,
Right.
you are the information. You're the
Mm-hmm.
person that has to tell the listening audience what's going on. So we had to cut music and report what we knew, what was going on. And that was the scariest moment for me. I could
I
say dead
cannot
air.
even
I could
imagine.
say, yeah, dead air is always scary, but that 9/11 I would say was the scariest, because just again not knowing what to do, not having the answer, and having to still do a job. And when you're on the air and a tragedy happens, whether it's a celebrity death, if it's a personal issue, the show must go on. You can't.
True.
As a matter of fact, just this past weekend, our city lost one of our major artists and producers due to a violent killing, and
Wow.
had to do the show
Right.
because people may not be connected to that life. They don't know what that is. I just want to listen to the radio. I mean, sorry to hear that, but I don't really care about. I need you to play my song. And so, at the end of the day, you still have a show to do. But it prepares you to be more strategic. It prepares you
Right.
to plan ahead and say, okay, coming up in this next break, we're going to take calls. Coming up next week, we're going to do a special dedication. So it gives you some time. Those are the scary instances that we have to go through. I told my family that if something happens and I'm on the air, do not call me.
Right.
Wait,
Because it'll throw you.
wait until I'm done. I remember going through a breakup, and I was on the air. I don't say it was scary, but just letting you know that when you're on the air, these things can't matter. They matter, but
Right.
they can't.
Right.
Going through a breakup, and I had 2 more hours to go on a radio show, and I was in Baltimore, and it was a weekend, and I was like, like, girl, I mean the ugly cry. And I had to put my headphones on, clear my throat, wipe my eyes, take a deep breath, and do my break. And I had to keep doing it. And my assistant at the time was in the studio with me, because she was just like, "You're not gonna leave? I can't leave. You can't
Still got a
leave.
job.
I still
Right.
got a job to do. This brother that went on to be with somebody else, and you not
Ooh,
gonna have no job, girl,
ooh,
please."
honey.
Girl, please. had
Lord, I
time to
think I
do.
would have
I finished my show.
forgot.
I went home and got drunk.
I know that's real. So, what was one of your favorite moments?
For radio, well, I guess you could say radio. So, I was living in Baltimore, and I had a couple of jobs. I worked part time at WKYS in DC, and I did traffic. I was a traffic reporter for iHeart, and I had an audition for a radio show or to be a radio personality on which was Radio 1039 in New York. New York is the number one market. And you make the number one market and you're in there, right? I mean, this is Angie Martinez, the Whitney Williams, Angela Yee, like, you know. So I took a train by myself and I went to New York and I did a 6-hour shift from 12 to 6 a.m. in New York City by myself, tired as hell. While I was in the studio, I went online and I went on Twitter, and I'm a big fan of the Today Show. And I tweeted the Today Show, how do I get to the plaza? At this time, they were doing like the Weekend Plaza where you make a sign, you could be like the Plaza fan and da-da-da-da. And so I tweeted them. You had to do a like form online. I did a form online, and then I said, I tweeted, I can't wait to get to the Today Show. This is gonna be so much fun. My first time in New York, blah, 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 blah. So they tweeted back, can't wait to see you. And when you do the form, you have to submit a picture of yourself. So I did that. Sent a picture. So I go down, catch a cab. I'm living my best life. This is New York City. I'm like, yes, I'm having so much fun. I'm loving it. 6 o'clock in the morning, mind you. So I get to the plaza. It's still dark outside. It's cold. I go to the sign station where they're making signs. You can make signs there. And I make my sign. First time in New York, blah, 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 big fan, da, da, da. So I'm standing there. The crowd is starting to come. Mind you, the Today Show starts at 7 o'clock. So one of the producers, her name is Juliana, she walks by and she sees me. And she said, you tweeted us. And I said, yes. What's your name again? And I said, Kiki Brown. And she said, okay, I'm glad you made it. Then she walked away. Maybe about 5-10 minutes later, she came back. She said, tell me your story again on why you're here. And I said, well, I had an audition, radio station, first time in New York. I'm a big fan of Today's Show. We're going to make you our Plaza fan of the day. What? What? Yes. Hold right there. We're going to get a producer to come and get you. So the producer came and got me. I don't know if you watched Today's Show, but there's Willie Geist and then a young lady named Kate. I can't remember her name. At this point. Erica. So as I'm walking in, they're walking out. Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. Welcome to the Today Show. Oh my God, it's really nice. Oh. So then I go in and they sit me in the green room. They're the guests in the green room. I'm by myself in New York. There's nobody there. I don't even think IG was a thing at the time. I don't remember. This was 2015. So I don't remember. So I called my mom. Mom, I'm going to be on the Today Show. She's like, what are you talking about? Mom, I told her what happened. You have to record this. You have to record it. Okay. So then they brought me out and I had to do this. They always did, well, they don't do it anymore, but they do the Plaza Fan of the Day. And they introduced them. And then you have to read a line off the camera. And this is when I met Chanel Jones. I did the line and I hugged her. And I have the video. I'll send you the video. But as I hugged her like this. I was so happy. I did such a hard church hug. I know I'm sorry this story was so long.
That's all right.
But that was the best. That was my favorite memory. Radio related in my whole career.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And then you were new. And then for them to just pick you out of everybody. I know that definitely made your day.
Oh my God. They're my friends in my head. So I was like,
I know that's real.
Yeah. That was the best time.
Okay, have you ever had to argue with anyone on the radio? Like any of the people that call in just want to argue with you about something?
um, no, I mean there have been in my early years. I wouldn't argue with them. I just hang up on them. Because they, this is the energy that they want to keep. And so, and I do it today. If somebody wants to call and complain, if you explain it, if you explain the reason why you guys play this song is degrading. I'm sorry, this is the radio edit. I apologize if you're offended. There really isn't much that we could do. Well, I'm never going to listen to you again. I'm sorry, that's unfortunate.
Right.
I apologize. I don't know what else you want me to do. No, please don't go. Like, we don't need to. And I mean, and if they get really nasty, I just hang up on them. But I think the one with the celebrity, the Yin Yang twins.
I remember them.
I had to check them because they kept going ha ha ha, and we were trying to conduct a conversation, and they kept going ha. It was like the hip hop Dalmatians from Brown Sugar. I was like, if y'all don't sit down some damn where, please.
I can just hear them. You know that in every song they say that. Oh my God.
Like, you're not gonna do this. This is not gonna happen. You will not interrupt this. Yeah, it was bad.
I think I would have been more so laughing so hard that they don't just keep repeating that one little piece. They probably were like, "What is funny?" But God,
I argue with 50 Cent's people when 50 Cent first came out. He came to the station and they shut down the whole third floor. I wasn't a 50 Cent fan. I really didn't care. I had a show to do at 3 o'clock.
Sorry,
and
50.
I needed to get in the studio, and his bodyguard or manager would not let me in. And I was like, I don't give a damn about 50 Cent or his mama. I got a show to do. I'm going to need y'all to get the hell out the studio. Like, I didn't care. And I mean, I became friends with his manager, Adam. Well, not really friends, but we just grew to know each other. And yeah, so I think those two stuck out. Yin Yang Twins and 50 Cent.
I'll tell you, I could just hit on that gonna play in my head. I'll be sitting there and my kids and my honey probably be like, what the hell is you keep laughing at? Cause not when I think about it, it's so funny. Oh God, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh my God. Okay, we have a viewer wants to know, how do you approach a new up and coming artist when they ask you to help promote their songs on air?
This is an everyday thing. Shouts to New Levels. I do see your question. So they have to go through the proper channels. You have to submit it. We have a link to submit local artists' music, and they have to go through that. The music has to be clean. The music has to be registered. I get, we got people who make their music at the studio and they like, yo, this is fire because all my boys said it was fire. And so we sending it in. And it's like, we'll be the judge of that. And also, this is not guaranteed airplay. You can't submit music talking about, yo, I shot that nigga in the head. Yo, we popping Molly. Yo. Why do you think that's okay? It's not okay for Jadakiss. It's not okay for Lil Baby. So it's not okay for you, bro.
Right.
And so, I think we're the only station, I want to say, one of a few stations that still play local artists on the radio. We give them an hour on Sundays. And that's so we allow that opportunity. And if you set that standard and create that boundary, they have no other choice but to follow it because nobody else is going to do it. Like you can't send your music to Hot 97. You can't send your music to Power 99 in Philly and GCI in Chicago and be like, yo, play my stuff. Like, what? I mean, I remember I was living in Baltimore and I was working for 92Q and we were snowed in at the time. And I lived like maybe a half an hour away from the station and they let me take the station vehicle home. Station vehicle is fully wrapped. 92 Q jams.
Right.
Beyonce on there, Usher's on there, Sierra, the pictures on the back. It's parked in front of my apartment. I hated taking the station vehicle home because I didn't want people in my business.
Right.
Somebody knocked on my door.
Oh no, they didn't.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You wanna can you play my music on the radio? Bro, you're at my house.
Right.
And then it was a CD and it was written on. No, I'm gonna need you to come correct. Come
Right.
correct. Have it look right. Present it. You want me to treat it with respect. You got to treat it with respect. We do
True.
not play. You cannot pay to have your music aired because that is against the law. It is an FCC regulation. You are not allowed to pay for music to be played on the radio. Should no DJ take your money, no radio personality take your money, no executive from any radio station. They are not permitted to take your money. You could get arrested and be charged a super duper fine. Like the station can be fined. And so you're not allowed.
That's good
so
to know.
you give me money, I can't take that money. First off, you should have to pay to have somebody play your music.
Right.
If it's fire, then the radio station is going to play it. But yeah, you're not supposed to pay money and have your music played on the radio.
Well, that is good to know because I know a lot of people probably, want to know that as well, especially the ones that's coming up and new. Like I have a 13-year-old. Mm-hmm. Well, I have 3 boys, so bless my heart.
Bless you, child.
Yes, they take me through. So I'm the only girl in the house, of course, with nothing but men. Well, boys and my man, of course, but Jesus have mercy, them boys. That's another topic. But my 13-year-old, you talking about somebody can sing. That boy can sing and he can rap. And I always try to catch him doing it, and he'll see me and he'll stop, or he'll be and I just be sitting there listening. But he said that he has a friend that was singing at school. So he was sitting there and he was like, come on, you know how to sing. And like he's sitting there getting his friend to sing. So he jumps in and he starts singing, and like the teachers and everybody just listening to him, they so zoned out. So they don't know that everybody else is listening to him and saying,
oh, wow.
He said when they
nice.
finished, everybody was just, yay! And he just turned around. He said he was so embarrassed. I said, boy, for what? You can sing? But he said his friend can sing too. So I thought that was just so awesome.
That's awesome. Give him some talent shows and some coaching. Yeah.
He needs to, because he's really good at it.
That's
really
good. That's good.
He didn't get it from me. He didn't get it from me. I wish.
Yeah.
Honey, I'll be like the yin yang twin with that hat. I'll be singing constantly. They'll be telling me, shut up.
Yeah.
I would, I swear.
You're not even popular today. Don't do it. Don't bring that back.
No.
That's one trend. Please don't bring that back.
I'll tell you, this is going to be.
Please don't bring that back.
Every time I want to giggle, that's going to. That's going to play in my head. So who was your favorite guest?
Okay. I had a few, but I would say Fantasia.
I love her too.
Fantasia.
Do she really talk like that?
Yes. Yes, she does. And it was Fantasia and Mario. Wait, and Tracy and Tracy Braxton, R.I.P.
Yes.
Those are my top
she's
3.
A sweetheart too.
Tracy, she's also my soror, and so she would come.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, hey, Soro. She called me, hey, Soro, what you doing? And we would talk. She would talk about her son, and I would talk about my son, and we would just hang out. But Fantasia, she and I were able. We just talked real girl talk. And then my son, who was maybe 12 at the time, 12 or 13 at the time, he was there at the station. I think it was like summertime. And she talked to him. It was like, you just let me know, and Auntie Fantasia will come out to that school and da-da-da, whatever. And
that's
then
so awesome.
Something said, tell this to Fantasia. She's a spiritual person. And I said this to her, and I don't even know if she remembers this, but I said, God told me to tell you that there's going to be a time that you're going to be walking and people are going to there's going to be broken glass and trash in your pathway, and that is not to discourage you. And you're going to keep walking, and you need to kick that glass and that trash out the way. And as I was saying that, I didn't even know why I was saying it, but she started to cry. And I said, I don't know what it was that made me say that, but you're going to face criticism. You're going to face hurt. You're going to face, whatever it is that's going to deter you from doing what you've been purposed to do. God says you are bigger than that, and you need to move those things out the way. He's giving you the ability to move those things. You just got to keep stable and just keep going. And she was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." And she started to cry, and we hugged each other. And I have not talked to her since. I would love the opportunity to see her again and to just say, "Hey, girl, how you doing?"
Right. Well, I know she's been doing the gospel now, isn't it?
Well, she's doing a Color Purple movie.
Oh yes, I seen the little preview.
That up. So, but remember, like when she was pregnant, there was the gentleman, the married man, and you know what I mean. So she was going through a lot, and I'm not saying that that's what that was, but to see where she's come from and where she is, she's an SG Row, I believe, and she's going to college. And I'm just so proud of everything that she's accomplished. Absolutely. So just knowing that I had that one-on-one with her. And another person is Mario. Mario and I had a similar family issue. And this was a time that his documentary came out. And I pulled him to the side and talked to him about a struggle that I was having within my family and wanted to ask him, off the record, off air, how do I go about it? And he was just telling me, I'm going to pray for you. Here's my number. And we exchanged numbers and we kept in contact. Awesome. Every time we saw each other, he'd be like, how's your so-and-so? And I'd be like, his mother had passed away. But, he would always ask me, how's everything going? Are you okay? Do you need anything? And I'm like, I'm doing all right. This is what's happening. This is what's going on. And I hadn't talked to him in a long time, but I would love to kind of catch up with him and see how he's doing. I'm so proud of everything that he's accomplished. But when you are in these positions, when you're interviewing people, you just want to have real talk. And when you can present that to them, then they trust you and they want to tell you more. And they want to come back. You want to create an atmosphere where they want to come back. You know what? I like her. I'm going to come back. I like her. You made me feel so comfortable talking to you. You know what? I think I make anytime. Where's Kiki at? You know what I mean? Right. So let me talk to. I'm talking to Kiki. Let me talk to Kiki. And so that's what I like.
Yeah, I agree because I know I work in the medical field, so like certain patients that come in, they didn't want to deal with nobody but me.
Yeah.
So I
it's
absolutely.
the rapport you create, so that's a good thing. As long as they trust you, that's good. But it's also a lot. It's heavy on you.
Oh yeah.
Now you got to
oh yeah.
Yeah.
That is so true. So what was one of your most requested songs? Like everybody calling in for you to play that one song.
Well, nobody requests music anymore. No, because I can if I want to hear something, I just put it on my phone. I can just listen to it.
Yeah.
So I don't have to request a song. I mean, unless I just don't have a phone and don't have anything. But I don't know. I can't remember. I mean, back in the day, it was, I can't remember.
And that is like everybody's so like, honey. When I see, and I know it's crazy for real. Like if I see a CD player in a car, I'm like, damn, this an old ass car because we don't use CDs anymore. We just Bluetooth it and find something on YouTube or something like that and play it. So when I was like, damn.
I was just talking to my fiance about this. I was like, I want to put a record player in the house, like that true original staticky sound. It's so nostalgic, and you're hearing the music the way it was originally made, and it's not studio processed, and you know what I mean. The CD was cool, but I missed that.
The record, right?
That record player, just that the needle, and you put
Right.
that. Oh man, I miss that. I do.
Yes.
I miss, and to see 45s and to see full albums. You got an A side and a B side. You flip that joint, put the little
Yes.
tune on the needle. Man, I miss that. You know, our kids didn't see that.
No.
Our kids grew up spoiled. We had tape cassettes where we had to rewind the tape.
What you talking about?
You know, we had to take the little things off the top so we can record. Because they had these things on the tape cassette that you, this is me showing my age, where you can't record. So you put those things off. You can
It's all
record
right,
on the
because I
tape.
trust me, I understand.
But yeah. I mean, you just, you know, now it's like, if I want to hear a song, I say, I don't want to say it because then she'll answer me. But, you know, call on my phone, and my phone will be like, sure, playing such and such. But here you got to go. I remember my dad's a DJ, and I remember going through his records. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, no, I don't want to hear that one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it was just, man, that's the best. Yeah. Get you a record player and just, yeah, girl. Get that. Yeah. If you love music, that's a good jazz album. I'm old, but a nice jazz album.
Yeah. Now my grandma, God bless her.
Dang, you just said my grandma.
My grandmama,
Yeah.
my grandmother, my grandma.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she had, of course, she had the old stereo with the record player and the cassette.
Yeah.
But I wish, and I'm going to her house.
Yeah.
I think my uncle them, they still stay there. That I can go and find some of her records, because she had like the Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, like she had all the old ones. And I know you would know this one. It's just a beat, but I think it was called, oh my God, Lord, what is it called?
Was it Herbie Hancock?
It's just a beat.
Beep 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 beep.
It's Now I like that one too, but it was the dun 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 dun. Oh my God, Green Onion. That's what it's called. Green Onion.
I never heard that one.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
baby, hold on. Hold on.
Green Onion.
Yes, let me see if I can pull it up just so you can hear just the beat part.
And she had that album, and she.
It's by Booker T. Yes.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get them. I swear you got. Oh my God!
But
I should have shared my screen.
You just pulled it up on your phone.
Yes.
See what I'm saying? Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's Green Onion.
Oh, that's that brown liquor.
What you talking? Let me tell you. And that's what that was her drink, her that brown liquor, a beer.
Playing cards, smoking Newport.
Yes. Let me tell you. That was all the above. Yeah. And you talk. Yeah. Oh, I love that lady to death. Yeah. Yeah. So, what song you hated the most, but you knew it was just hot? Don't say you.
Glorilla.
Which one?
Glorilla. Popping on the ant. Oh no. God.
Let me tell you, to
just
be
Glorilla.
honest,
just Glorilla.
Now, when she first came out with what the hell that damn song is?
Right, that one.
I can't even think of that, but when she first came out, I was like, damn, they signed her with that. Yeah. But she, now it was one song that I liked that she played, that she rapped. I can't think of the name of that one either, but if I hear it, I know it. I know she was the man was in there, and she was just like going off, and the man it was a pretty good, but yeah, but a lot of new artists, they can talk and sing or rap anything, and it's just a damn hit. I don't get it sometimes, but
it's us. It's the people. Yeah. It's the people that listen. People that they want that, and it's also TikTok. That's a dope thing, and I can put a TikTok reel to. Oh,
let me tell you,
you're helping the artist. You're putting that TikTok
Oh
sounds for
yeah.
real, you're helping that artist. And you're so every time you post it and it's
Oh,
shared
okay.
and the likes and the views, you're helping that artist expand those rotations and they're
Oh.
getting numbers from that. So when I look at, excuse me, when I look at music and I look at the charts, I not only look at what it's doing across the country or a particular market, um, last week and this week or 2 weeks from now, I'm also looking at Shazam. I'm looking at TikTok. I'm looking at Instagram, and I'm looking at those streaming numbers. And so those,
Hmm.
that's how they're getting it.
Oh yeah. I
You know,
never
it's us. It's us listening to it.
right. Never thought of that because I be trying to create little TikTok sometimes
Yeah,
too.
you the
Um
reason.
I know now. I never thought of it that way though. But
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
well they need to start paying us then
Well,
for helping them.
good luck with that one.
Oh,
That
I
might not
already.
happen, child.
Well, how about y'all just come on my show then? Just
Oh,
come in
there
and
you
be a
go.
guest.
There you go. Now
I don't even want the
there's,
money. I just need you to come on
there you go.
and be a guest.
Yeah.
You also have a show, what like a talk show.
Hmm. I don't have
So
a talk show.
what
I'm a co-host on the talk show.
co-host? So
Mhm.
what's your job? What do you do there? Like what?
The show is called Talk Pittsburgh. It airs every day here in Pittsburgh at 3 o'clock. And but once a week, I'm on there to do like an entertainment segment, and it's called the 3 o'clock drop. And so we post like a question, and then we take like the audience's comments. So today we talked about what advice would you give a high school senior, and then people were
Oh,
able to kind of give their, give their comments. We talked about aging, and is aging an issue for you? Forgiveness. We talked about forgiveness, friendship. Like the older you get, are you still concerned about making new friends? And so we just talk about that. And I have, well, I wouldn't say it's a talk show, but it's kind of like it's Sunday programming. It's called What's Good in Your Hood. And so that is something that I do every week. And it's interviews, a group of interviews from different people in the community, talking about health or philanthropy or community and entertainment and stuff like that. So, yeah.
that's
Yep.
awesome.
Thank you.
That is great. Well, honey, you just the full package. You just doing it all.
Shoot. I ain't talking about the business. Shoot. Whenever, I mean, I have a business and it's like, I be trying to. I need to, I have a full on business. And so, getting up super early in the morning, staying up late at night, trying to get the business done for clients and just juggling a lot. But these are the things that we have to do now,
True.
as Americans. I don't know anybody just has one job. We got
No,
several
because
kids, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Because we got several bills. So,
true story. And then po me, like I said, I'm the only girl, and
mm-hmm.
then I got to nerve to have a pandemic baby. He is too. Uh-huh.
Oh,
So all my kids are years apart. My oldest is 20. He'll be 21.
okay.
My middle boy is 13, and then I have a 2-year-old, which will be 3 in June. So
Mm.
yeah,
God bless you. God
right.
bless you.
Let me tell you, I say that every time, and then I just be
Mm.
looking at them like, boy,
Mm.
they run
Mm-mm-mm.
me raggedy. I promise you
Can't even
that.
say you almost out there, but nope.
And then I have like a little small business myself,
Hmm.
which I've been doing that for a couple of years, which I need to promote more because and me, I know this is a habit that I have to get out of. Like if I sell something, like I do like the personalized tumblers, and like
Oh,
the
okay.
apple bands with
Yeah.
the beads
Yeah.
with the little charms hang. So I
Oh,
do like
cool.
little stuff like that. Yeah, I love
Okay.
it. But
Okay.
then if I get a few people that purchase it, and then when I go back and post again and see if people gonna purchase, and then some of them don't, then I just give up. I gotta stop doing that. I gotta keep it because I know it takes time, and
Yep.
I gotta get out of that
And
habit.
consistency. It takes time and consistency.
Yeah,
You gotta be consistent.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
do. I gotta get
As
myself out
long
of
as
that.
you know.
I do. I do, friend. I do. I do.
I'm just saying, as long as you know.
I do. I do. I do.
Like, I know.
But if you would like to tell our viewers like where they can follow you at, and let them know of any other businesses that you have, and just give them a little um something to go off of so they can go follow you, or
Okay.
whatever it is.
All right. Well, on Instagram, I'm Pretty Kitty on Ya Radio, YA Radio. On Twitter, some people still use it. I am Radio Chick Brown. I have way too many Facebook pages, but the most recent is Kiki Brown, Kiki Brown. You can follow Urban Media Today Radio on Facebook, where we have a link where you can listen live to the radio station. We're actually getting ready to start the nightcap, which is like a quiet storm. You might enjoy that. I know you'll enjoy that because it's like super dope music. Hey Girl Hey Podcast, the Hey Girl Hey Podcast, which we are in our 5th season. And you can listen on all streaming apps. You can find me on YouTube at what is my name on YouTube? I think it's Pretty Kitty on your radio. Yeah, I don't know. And is that it? Oh, and my business is Nice 2 Media. Nice, the number 2 Media Marketing and Promotions LLC, and that's a social media management, marketing, and PR firm. We're housed here in Pittsburgh, but we have clients that are all over right now. We have Pittsburgh, we have Maryland, Kansas City, Huntsville, Alabama, and Pittsburgh, yeah. So, and it's been around since 2016.
Oh, wow.
Every day I'm hustling.
That's what I'm talking about.
Every day I'm hustling.
Yes, honey, I'm trying to get that too. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yes. But y'all guys definitely go follow her and get in tune. And I want to thank you so much, Kiki, for being a guest. This was
thank you
the bomb. It was best. Absolutely. I enjoyed myself too.
I don't get to be on podcasts, so this was fun. I like it. It was a good ending to my day. I like it.
Well, I'm glad, and thank you again so much for being a guest.
Thank you.
Everybody who's watching, thank you so much for watching. And till next time, guys, peace.